So, Kimura trap defense. So I'm the defensive guy. By purpose, because I want to give little guys a chance. Little guys, I don't mean weight-wise, but just people that start jiu-jitsu. And YouTube is so off balance towards attacking, and usually the defender is, to say an idiot, it's much to say, I guess. It's maybe too offensive. But usually defender are like, if you watch like old karate demonstrations, and usually attacker does this and defender does, the attacker does this and defender does the 10 things, and then somebody falls. But if you watch, always the attacker always stays still and takes all the hits. And if you go watch those demonstrations, it's super funny to watch the attacker that are meant to lose, because clearly nobody acts that way. And then usually demonstration is you visualize always the defender who's defending stuff and does funny things. Then it looks awesome, but the equation is actually very, very off balanced. So defense, somehow upper body defense, even side control escapes, upper body submission defense, it's somehow less studied. I have no clue why. And then even leg locks these days, people didn't do leg locks, and now we have awesome information about leg locks. The very late defenses with slipping heels, it's normal these days. But when you watch let's say armbar defense, Kimura late defenses, all the upper body submission late defenses, there's less information about it. There's less studied. It's weird. So my research is more towards upper body stuff. I'm doing leg locks myself these days because there's something I don't like about them. For me at the moment, I have a lot of questions actually for leg lockers in this camp. I will look them up because something doesn't add up. Yeah, but I'm clearly not, defense is not there, but I'm trying to figure them out and understand them myself, because upper body becomes already a boring little bit. Still study goes, but I'm trying to understand also leg locks. Anyway, so today Kimura trap. So we will try to balance out the equation, that they have something, I have something. I will not talk about escapes because they don't matter. You will figure out themselves, because survival is the best option, and the best escape is they quit. They let go of the Kimura trap. So I'm teaching you if you have the ability to annoy them so much that they will quit Kimura trap themselves, I've done my job. Yeah? So you have that ability to survive the longest possible time. And then if you figure out something earlier, it's good. So definitely add escapes and try to get out earlier, because we have different format of competing, but also the ability to stay there forever, it's necessary, because everybody talks about that. Also, I get criticism for that, like, oh, why don't I teach you escapes? I don't care about them, honestly, because they're so personal, first of all, it depends on your game. And also, to make the quickest escape, of course I'm for it. If you can escape the quickest, competition, whatever. But to make the quickest escape decision, the dichotomy is you have to have the biggest experience to make the right decision in a split second. Yeah? That means you have to stay there the longest, to actually know everything about it, all the timing and feeling options, and then you pick right away everything. So, of course I'm for it. But the dichotomy is you have to be there the longest. You have to just stay there. And then you pick early or late, who cares? Yeah, so that's also my message. That's why I'm forcing the survival on it. So just stay there, you're not in trouble. Yeah, and learn everything about the position and then pick when you want to escape. Sometimes waiting is a technique. Wait for them to move and then you attack also. If you force yourself, sometimes they wait for it and they punish for it. So both needs to be there. Escaping quickly is not necessary. It's a very false dogma to push on people. Yeah. So anyway, so let's start the Kimura trap. I think it was intermediate class. I think a little bit, or I don't know what all levels. I will show you the Kimura, then I guess the half guard roll, and then we'll see. Because the position I teach you this 1 hour, we call it it's a bad name for right now. We call it a mini baby reach. So we have an upright crunch. So this is the, in our terms, hawking, yeah, and this is the baby reach. This is what Kimura trap is. I go there, or I go there. So we have two options. I only have 1 hour, so I can't teach you two options. some of you that adapt to that I have to show you that's possible, that we always have jab cross game. But today I'm going to concentrate on the baby bridge, vertical one, and then maybe next some other camps I will try to teach hawking. And then if you go to YouTube, do you have both options in YouTube, in Club Turrets in Action soon. So I'm trying to build a library also like that. Okay, so today more that. And take those things into consideration. And if you're a Kimura trap guy, I'm interested to see what you think and how you adapt. And then I will maybe show you, and maybe if I'm wrong, I will admit it, and then I change the topic of the class. Okay, so it's always possible. So, because I'm not the Kimura trap guy, I'm the guy that ruins it. And I don't study attacks, but it's interesting when I figure out the escape, I know about the attacks way more. And why also defense, before we start? Defense is one of the best way to push attacks to become better. Yeah. So to keep doing arm bars, Kimuras, forever, defense has to come up. And then it's always interesting to keep doing them forever. Like a boxing jab, You just have to, and defense is there, you're interested to do that forever. Because people are good at defending. So that's always, defense has to come up, and then it's a battle. Always pushing each other. So definitely roll with me during the camp a lot. I can attack, I guess. Also I can show I can be very annoying. So, and somewhere that looks very weird, but you have to feel it. So come to roll with me. I'm a big guy fairly these days. So, but I play more defense in the bottom, I play guard, I don't crash in the top if there's a weight difference. So I know how to roll with a lot of lighter people, so it's also safe. Most of my jiu-jitsu is developed against very light people, like 50 kilos, and then I developed my back defense and everything else. So anyway, first, I just want to see you suffer a bit, because you don't get it first, so it's kind of fun to see that. So I need you to do that move. So legs, yeah, you have both toes on a mat, then you crunch, you almost vertical, that arm is free. This is, by the way, Z guards, and this is a lot of guards also. You crunch top, and your head is up, up towards the ear. So that's the position, and then you can also do the simplest movement pattern. You can switch from left to right, just to do both sides, and you really emphasize that twist and that verticality. So I give you literally like a minute to just feel weird, pretend you understand, just go left and right, and then you have questions, and then we start again with this, and then you're built already like, what the hell is this? It doesn't make any sense. And then, my job is to give it a meaning. Okay? So do that, literally 1 minute, I put a stopwatch, and off you go. Let's go. And the timer goes now. 1 minute. So, simplest, if you know any other, you can do it, but simplest, I guess, lay down, of course. This way. So, simplest access to Kimura might be, half guard, you get the Kimura, and then you can, I guess, finish here, you can do other passes, but lift your butt, figure out how to release the legs, usually use the other leg, you get your knee out, use the other leg, and roll out. And then you're in a Kimura trap position, kind of, yeah? So, if you don't want to do that, then, wait, you can be sideways, you have a Kimura, yeah, and you fall towards the backside. That's also very simple, and then you can do it from the half guard. Just half guard maybe gives you more context how you get there. If you know how you get there, thank you. If you know how you get there, you can just go Kimura trap, feel it, where your pressure is in the Kimura trap, and already try, you do the Kimura trap, you fall there, and already try, as a defender, how would baby bridge fit here? So I will give you like 3 minutes for the pair. Just 3 minutes, you will try and build up questions. So they will do it like a Kimura, fall over, okay? Or half guard. Roll out, don't smash their face with your hip when you just really butt up and do a forward roll. Let them stop, Kimura trap, and then you go like, okay, so you go like, how would baby bridge fit here? So try it. And I also expect you to fail. Yeah, because it's a new thing, so that's normal. You have to fail, feel it, and then build up questions, then I show it to you. So it's easier to teach when you already know what the context is and try certain things that work or not work. If you can figure out, good for you, and then we can go more details later. Yeah, so 3 minutes, very fast, switch left and right, build questions, then we bring it back in. Pair up. Goes now. 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's my better side.
This is one way to teach, because it's very hard to teach when you don't have context, and then I show stuff, some details, and then you don't know why they matter. Because right now you're building context. Yeah, if I give you this section for like 20 minutes, it will be nonsense, because you would just sit down after 5, just you don't get it, and then that 15 minutes doesn't make it more. You know, you don't get it more after 15 minutes. You just go, I'm stuck. So 3 is usually good, you know, and then we start. So now you have a little bit context. It's fairly like a common attack these days already. If you don't do it, don't mind, but people usually do it. They jump over the guards with this and all the stuff. So let's go. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So if it's like from the half guard, so go for half guard. So, yes. So go. So now there's a different way. I know that they want people talk about the T. You know, they want that shoulder usually when they talk about Kimura trap. This is very, 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 very hard to get if I'm defensively solid. So, and always if I'm wrong, he has no ability to find out how Kimura trap actually works. And I don't recommend to do Kimura trap against some stupid escapes. What is the best possible escape available and how to beat it? So always think about that, not like what beginner would do. Yeah, so now, hold on tight. So that's the case, yeah? So I'm trying to put it like meet him there. It's one of the hardest directions to go, because if I win, I'm in top right away. So actually he has a baby reach right now, and I have baby reach. Then it makes it fighting for top easier, because it's about who gets the elbow on the mat first. His elbow is already, so he can also pressure me to come on top and end up in half guard, side control top Kimura. So I'm doing this. So what I add now is also extension from the hip. So push. So I'm doing this. Push, push, push. So, and then elbow gets out, and weirdly if he follows, this is exception. It's kind of like YouTube option, kind of fancy, but also can happen. But if they adapt to defense, it rarely happens. So this is always like their attack, my adaptation, and then their adaptation as an attacker, because they will adapt to this later. In one class it's kind of hard, but usually during the month, whatever, they will start to attack differently, because the defense pushes them to evolve. You change the environment, you change the behavior. So, and because I usually don't like those YouTube videos that shows the defender has no chance here. There's actually a lot to do, and this is quite difficult position, and this is sport now, yeah? So you got a head, but I don't have to give you like a Kimura from side control and back take and everything else. So it's actually quite easy to balance. Easy, you know, it's like a half joke. So do it again, take Kimura. Lay down, yeah, just lay down. Yeah, so this is bad, and flat being bad is either you turn the hawking or you turn in. Don't stay flat. Flat is when you get destroyed, yeah? So legs, they actually help me to keep sideways, because he's gonna push, go push. He's gonna do this, yeah, and try to get up. So if my legs are here, I'm more prone to fall on my back. So I have to balance it out. Wait, keep the elbow. And what that torque does, I want to actually pull the elbow. He feels that right now. The elbow is slipping a little bit. So I really have to be vertical, and I'm pulling the elbow down. And what also happens, I will walk. Let's fight a little bit. See, elbow is out. My elbow is out, and now it's a fight. It's a scramble, who gets up faster. So if he disengages, you know, this usually happens, and we have open guard. But I have to get my elbow out. And if the elbow is out, I can base. And then it's a fight. Yeah, maybe I turtle, maybe they get up, maybe it's open guard, maybe I run away, who cares? But now it's an open scramble I can teach in 2 hours, because there's like a gazillion options from there. They don't matter. You're out, and whatever safe fail you have, turtle, whatever, just you reset the position. You stand up or just shut it down. If you know more, you can fight for something. Just you go here, you shut down and reset position. So just the point is to balance it out and to kill it. And if they do something else to you, but you still escape the Kimura. Whatever happens after that, a mount, back take, not mount, let's say mount or some side control, it doesn't matter, you escape the Kimura trap. And then you struggle further to escape the mount, and finally you escape to neutrality. Or you take over the action and then attack yourself. So point is to get this out. So do it again. And then you can progressively, adaptively make it harder. Yes. So here, feel it. Yeah, grab this. If you know, this is quite, they want this double control, you know, this and that. So I'm kind of stuck. If I do baby reach, it's very hard to get the shoulder. So now, do it slowly first. So just give them success and make it harder, yeah? So I'll let them understand what you do. So, boom, boom, boom. And first just, okay, elbow is out. And then I already fight for top. Then they adapt, they move with me. Let's go. And then it's already, you know, kicking the butt and wrestling. So adapt, and I will also show you later what the other arm does. Because other arm can make it also way more difficult for him to keep the structure right now without this. So we teach you basic structure, how to survive, and then we add arm work later. Otherwise you will be very arm dependent. You have to get out with only with this, and then certain things help. Now what else? You can do it from the half guard, then they jump. So they make it a, if you're advanced person, you know. There's white belt people and there's advanced people, you know. No? No jokes? Okay, so I'm not doing any more jokes then. So anyway, if you're like, have more context in jiu-jitsu, you can do it from half guard, and as soon as they go, you're in baby reach. So you train transition wins. Yeah, because the fight is lost and won in transition. If you're more beginner, let them go, then stop, go like, okay, Kimura trap, where I'm here. Okay, baby reach. Yeah, you clearly lost that transition, but you can train like this. And you can also do it just from, you know, from Kimura and just you fall over, you know. So if you have more context, you can do already transitional stuff, more fun. Actually, success ratio goes up when you escape in transition because they cannot lock that strong while in transition, okay? So, let's say 5 minutes, put the timer on, use your time wisely, switch fast, build context, really slow, help each other. And don't train with them if they haven't done the structure right. So if they're doing something else, you correct them. Legs, this, you correct them, and then now let's drill, okay? So you're in the drill. You're responsible for their action also. So put them in a right position, and then we drill, yeah? Don't let them do the bad stuff. So 5 minutes, let's go. Don't clap. So, feedback. You're doing too much. Yeah? First, have a ladder. And if you change the ladder, then I'm not responsible anymore. And I'm not accountable. Do the ladder. Balance the system. Get your elbow out. And then everything else. A lot of you are just trying to escape and get to top and do like very complex stuff actually. Because if you get on top, they will also adapt, then it becomes a fight. They will adapt, you adapt, it's a fight. Just neutralize the system, get your elbow out, that's it. That's our objective. And everything else you know, if you know, you can play the drill, whatever, if you both are good. But there's like a gazillion options. Because it's not like, I'm not saying you will end up in top. If you allow them to adapt, a lot of things will happen. They will let go earlier. As soon as you do baby reach, they will already quit, get on top before you. They have a chance to let go earlier than you. So ending up in top is a little bit a pipe dream. It's like a U2 fancy options. Yeah, you were in a submission grip and now you're in top side control. Come on. Yeah, really, that's not how sport works. Yeah, usually when they're adapted, this is the least what happens, because they will know the cues, they will know what you do, they will quit earlier and get on top before you. Yeah, there's a scramble happening. So don't do the fancy options. It's too big of the change. They have to, first of all, Kimura trap, you're inside close to submission. So to get neutral is a one step back. To get top means they just slept 2 stages. Okay, they will fight back in this already. Yeah, you get one back, it's a fight already. Don't expect, I don't do anything and they get on top. No. It might happen because they're tired, stars are aligned and everything, but no. And I don't like to show those options because it's not the reality you meet later. And so you have to know what is most likely to happen against the adapted opponent. I can tell you because we have done those things. We know how they behave later, and you prepare yourself for that. Yeah, and if the exception happens, good for you. But otherwise, if you wait for that getting to top, and then the reality hits in, and then you fail because you're supposed to, because it's a hard thing to do, then you think it's your fault. Oh, I did a technique wrong. No, you're not supposed to end up in top against the adapted opponent. It's actually quite hard. Okay, so it's also expectation of reality that kind of makes us feel a certain way. So that's why I kind of like to go like very simple options, just neutral. If there's no Kimura, I'm good. Even side control bottom, I'm fine. Okay, so Francesco? Yeah. Francesco, do it again. So, now let's climb the ladder. Kimura, fall down, yes. Don't do this, yeah? Right away on your side. First, balance, because they usually, I put also on a video in a group these days, Jason Scully was teaching push. They usually try to push the, he was talking about belly button, yeah? Just, they're forcing me there. Because it's easier for them to now come up, see? And then start attacking and everything else, okay? So we have to balance their push, I'm pushing back, yeah? So push. We have to balance that. So he can't bully me there. So now he's trying, and because I'm getting more on my side, this elbow becomes heavy. Wait. This becomes very heavy. Yeah, I need that. If I'm this, I only have an arm. But now the torque is making the elbow heavy. And as soon as they adjust, the elbow slips. Okay? So, do it again. So here I feel like they can bully you a bit, yeah? They can move you. It's like, go. Yeah? So now we're fighting and I'm balancing. And now it's, if they're doing everything right, I need my other arm because they also have two arms. But let's play a little bit. See, if I actually become more aggressive, I do the hip extension. This, and now I can fight for top. So, I will let you do this one more time before I enter the other arm because it's not important. You would have to have a pretty decent success already with these structures. And then we add the arms. If you want to play with this, you can figure it out yourself and test. And then I show you my version, what we know so far. It's not the end, so to speak. So, feel the bullying, turn, balance, and get your elbow on the mat. And just stop there. Don't do too much. It's a 1 hour class. You will confuse yourself. Just get out, elbow out, and Kimura trap is gone. And then you've done your objective. Yeah. Everything else is your preference later. Yeah. So do it again. I give you 5 minutes, and then we bring it in.
Doing that. Oh.
Now we're getting there. I see more of you are just getting your elbow out, and then that's it. That's a very small fight you have there. Get your elbow out, and then go to you to figure out the rest. Like, what kind of options are there? I recommend that if you get out, you get elbow out, think about if they end up, so you should most likely consider ending up in a bottom side control. Yeah, this is when they adapt, this is quite likely what happens. They let go faster, everything. So what you should have, what kind of side control bottom do I give them? Yeah, if I'm doing this and this kind of jiu-jitsu, then they get crossface underhook, make me flat, and then I complain jiu-jitsu is hard, yeah? So you should be the same position. I play this position in side control bottom, also facing you, also facing away. You can always test and roll with me. So I would do this, and I would just stay here. This is closed, this is this, and then they come on top, I stay the same way. If they circle the head, I will stay the same way. They're not getting underhooks and crossface, they're all gone. If I go here, I usually turn away anyway. So, because if I can't turn in, being flat is not an option. Flat is where, kind of like side control really suffers, like for a bottom person. Crossface, underhook, everything works way better. So that's the exact, I'm not joking. This is, if you roll with me, this is exactly what I would do. And I just stay there, do nothing, and win. Yeah, because it's quite hard to somehow quite hard to attack that structure. And again, you don't have to believe me. Come and test, and then you can get more evidence. And then, if I'm right and you're wrong, you're bound to change your mind. If you don't, then an adult conversation is over. Yeah. So because I present you the evidence that a little bit contradicts what you know, so it is a struggle usually. Yeah. Like, what about this? Just test everything. If I'm wrong, I will admit it, and I will change stuff. So it's all about testing. I know what I'm talking about. So So anyway, a couple of things, Francisco. Now we talked about different, that second arm. Kimura. You can also, with some of you, I talked about this fight here. Wait. This elbow, yeah. So if I'm more flat, yeah, push me back. See, get the elbow back. But if the elbow is really heavy, so you can test this, let's say, I get my elbow on a mat, I get my elbow on a mat, I'm not out yet. Can they lift the elbow again and put me back to the Kimura trap? If you're more here, more flat, it's actually a little bit of fight that can lift the elbow and get under that. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm in this position again. If you're in baby rich, fix everything, fix the tilt, elbow is on a mat, and let them try to get under the elbow again, go. It's quite difficult to push me around, yeah? Because structure helps. So you feel like you're safe. So first of all, structure, you know, the baby rich walking around, elbow on a mat, and test it. Can they push you back? Can you stay there long enough to make a decision? Okay, what kind of top I get, what happens? And they won't get it back, so you have like 5 to 10 seconds. You have to know that experience. Otherwise, they get it back, and then you're back in the cycle, and then everything happens fast, and then you can't make a decision because you need time. Yeah. So that testing could be there, and now second arm. So, and if you know more, you can do other stuff. Oh, wait. So if somebody actually opens up this way, that's fine. You can do this. Sometimes you can't get the elbow out, but you can balance the equation. Also, the Kimura trap is dead, and now just wait. Because you wait then to quit, and then you fight. Usually they feel like it's adjust, and sometimes they let go and fight for top, then you're ready, because you also have that shoulder. And then it's easier to fight for top. I'm not saying I will win the top, but it's, you know, you understand the post here. It makes it harder for them to come after me. So, this might be there. This is quite interesting grip. Kind of same area, yeah, this is a post, but if you can, sometimes it's harder because, but they gonna really nicely pinch it. But you can get here. This is, wait, if I peel it out, this is quite annoying grip. It keeps them kind of flat, go. Yeah, so just open up and there's a shield there also, yeah. If somebody is more flexible, I've seen also people, you know, put legs there and everything. I can't do it. So if you have certain exception, like in your movement patterns, and then you can do more than optimal, you can figure stuff out. Why not put the leg there, so your own preference. Then also a very annoying one that people don't consider. It's a wrestling based. Hold on tight. Hold on tight. So just do this. This is all this defense, what it shows that he doesn't have time. It has to attack, pam, 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 pam. If he stays there, it's very, very difficult to attack. Because this, my behavior forces him to become better, attack faster in combinations. Okay, so otherwise, if I don't do it, I struggle, they think they have time. This is false positive. So hold on tight, push it. So I don't want to start with this, you know, because it kind of doesn't make sense to do because there's no structure. And if you do this and you're flat, you still end up in a bad positions. So do it again. So first body and then the arms. So hold tight. So here, baby bridge on my side. I can always do this. This is quite annoying, yeah? And then we can go YouTube, you know, and then figure out, very fancy, maybe not do it, yeah? So here, let's fight. Get my elbow on the mat, you know, get in here, get in there, kill this. And you see right away, it's quite difficult to stay there. Where's the camera? Yes. It's quite difficult to stay there. So have a little bit fight. First, I said elbow fight, yeah? Get the baby ridge, toes, crunch up really sideways, let them correct your stance, and then try to get it back. Can they lift your elbow? It's pretty difficult. The more you roll, the more it's easy to lift. And then only muscle, it's like more arm muscles have to work. This is quite literally quite difficult because my body is twisted this way. So do that test, figure out the arms, armpit, grapevine, use the leg, strip, understand those things, and then do a small drill that they are bound to lose, and then you raise resistance. So play it a little bit, do the baby ridge. If I do it wrong, they should correct me, stop, do it slowly, baby ridge. They have to kind of, what's the word? Kind of keep me in check. That I will definitely do an optimal body position and then arms help. Otherwise, if body position is bad, then it's too much arms. And they get really, really tired very fast. Okay, so more body, less arms. So elbow, arm, and then play a bit. when he's more losing and build up the resistance, okay? So, and then back and forth, talk to each other, and then we bring it in after, again, 5-6 minutes. Okay, let's go. So, how are we doing? Good? Yeah? So, elbow out, yeah? Very small. Always, it's not, I'm not judging you or like talking down. You want to do too much. You're taught to escape. That is super dangerous. Because you have to do everything right. First, we survive. We survive the attack. Just forever? No. And then we're like, okay, it's so boring. Priit, this is boring shit. Yeah? Yeah, I know. But when you learn to survive, now you have time and context to take risks. Because you know where it comes from, the survival, and then I take risk, and then if I fail, I go back to survival. Imagine not having survival, only escapes. You escape, it messes up, something goes wrong. Where do you go back to? You have to another escape. But with this, I failed. Go back to baby rich. Just okay, and then try again. You understand? So it gives you a platform, like a boxing shield. Like imagine not having this in boxing, and then you punch and then like, but where do I return my arm to? It's like, no, you got pumped, you fail, defend, try it again. So I'm providing you those safe spots, balancing equations that you can pick your own answer. Yeah, but because you always fall back to also, you figure it out, but you're not in danger. Okay, so, and then escaping comes after that. Because, Francisco? Yes. So, somehow you want to do that. And if your elbow is not out, you need so much experience. I will get on top now. So, elbow is in, look what happens. Elbow is in, and I get up, go armbar. See? Elbow is still in. Yeah? There's clearly ways to go, but I need so much experience, and maybe my ways to go, like, I accept the armbar, I defend the armbar. So my default option as a default flaw, as an armbar escapes, and you can't teach it to beginners, because they don't know armbar escapes. So you right away put them in a worse danger. So default should be no danger. Pump. Now we wait. Yeah, sometimes you're like, maybe, wait, give me this. You can't get out, but just wait here. And when they struggle, get it back, just not know. And then we'll see what happens. So waiting is also, and then you pick an escape. Because to say the quickest escape is the best escape is actually quite wrong. Because I will actually wait for them to move a little bit, and then I got it. It's like a countering throws, you know? Sometimes they do it, and then you throw them also, yeah? They give you stuff. Other way, you have to go to them. But countering is a little bit harder. So I would sometimes wait for them to come to top, and then I rip my elbow out also. So waiting is part of the stuff. So it's quicker is not always the best. Best is like what's best for a situation. And so quickest and longest has to be there. You have a framework, and then life happens between. Okay, so that's my message mostly. So we have 5 minutes. I give you more time. Elbow out. Yeah, wrist. This is super annoying. This. And you will adapt also. So I will just tease you a bit now. So push me more. Because if you start to do this, they will adapt quite hard to this. And then talking happens. Yeah? This is just for a YouTube, yeah? So push, this happens. And now it's like, if the elbow is too up, I'm too late already. I didn't do it early, baby rich. Go. And then I do those hooking stuff, yeah? And also I can go to my knees, what YouTube usually shows. So if I do this in YouTube, knee in, this is trouble, yeah? Hook in, or put the hook over shoulder. No, put hook over the shoulder. Like this, you know, triangles and stuff, or this, yeah? But there's a way, I think we found it. We're doing this. This is actually mini baby bridge. Yeah, and now, and it's actually quite weird because I'm killing the bottom. And now we fight. So, but YouTube, that option in YouTube is always like somebody goes to the knees, always every goddamn video is about that they take you back. Like they do this to their knees and then I take you back. Just, it's really, I wish that there would be like, okay, I have to, there's back takes, but what if I have a best available way to go to my knees? And then how you beat it. I'm not saying I always go there, but there seems to be a better way than just, and then just backs getting taken. So then my optimal best way, your, and then it's a sport. And of course, people lose and win and all the time. But other way you lose because you don't know. So also, one of my messages, jokingly, I want to bring honor back to Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, by beating people. Because so in that sense, it's a. We'll see if I can make it. If you win, you do a Kimura trap, Kimura escape, or Kimura submission. If you win because they didn't know what to do. Understand? People don't have Kimura late defenses. Yeah, they're like doing this. If they get here, most people tap. But what is the honor in that? Because you beat somebody that didn't know how to defend it. It's like taking somebody down who has no takedown defense, and then you brag you're good in takedowns. Okay? So what if he would know everything about the Kimura defense, and then you still beat him? Yeah? And then it's more equal. So that's also what I do. I'm trying to build the defensive stuff up, so you as a Kimura doer could really understand Kimuras, and that win is honorable. So if you really want to beat something, ask for them, what's your strongest game? And go there and beat them. Yeah? Then you really know you're good in that sense. Otherwise, you're leg locking people who don't know about leg locks. So what is the honor in that? It's still good for learning, but talking like you're good in leg locks is not, you know, you need to have good leg lockers, and then you win and lose, and then you know you're good. So this is also why defense is very important. The attacker has a chance to find out how good he actually is. Because if you don't know the answer, then you just won the Kimura grip against the person that doesn't know defense. So, and it's very dangerous to think that you're good, because did they know what they have to do? Okay, so that's also my message, and also this is one way to push attack better, because I teach defense, and somehow people understand Kimura trap way better. So this is the way I teach submissions and everything in my gym. I teach defense and then I let them adapt. I teach two things in class. And also you can argue right now, maybe not in this class specifically, that your understanding of Kimura grip also went up because you know the defense now. So you know why you're pushing, you know why you're tilting this, because you know that what's the best available defense. And now you beat it, because now your grip is adapted already. You're trying to cancel that. Before you didn't know maybe what was the reaction, actually, the right one. Okay, so that's also why we're interested in defense. Anyway, my second class is, I think, in Saturday. We do a side choke, arm triangle defenses. And so that's the last one. Yeah, like everybody says, come roll me, you feel it. I can play really defensive, I can open up, depends on your level. And so that's the message, just feel how it works. Okay, and if you can, do it in sparring also, you know. Just let people know, let's train it, you know, in a sparring. Right now it's open mat anyway. So that's it. Thank you for coming, and see you around.